It's Tuesday, April 21st, 2026, and these next couple weeks of severe weather are going to be pretty active. Let me show you what the intensity scores are going to really be. Here, you guys can check this out for free on RyanHollyall.com. It's absolutely free. You can see starting on Thursday, 43.4, 49.4, 64.8, 62.2, and Monday, 58.0. So this is going to be pretty active. So there's a lot we have to talk about, and I'm just want to warn you guys that I'm sorry that the video is probably going to be around 30 minutes. It's going to be a long one, but it's worth it because there's a lot of severe weather coming up, and this will be effective for a lot of people. Okay, so starting for today, there's little marginal risks, general risks up here, even small ones up here. This is probably for snow and stuff, but just thunderstorm risks all around there. Part of Texas too, just a general risk, but these are forms of some big storms. I hate how weather-wise needs to change. Why the risk going all the way in the ocean? It's really stupid. But this even goes here on the border of Mexico and in the U.S. All right, but checking on our marginal risk right here. This is with snow and storms. There's already a special weather statement. 40-mile-per-hour winds over there in California, so watch for some weather. But if you're in Chicago, in the Chicago area, you're right on this marginal risk. But so what you're expecting is a couple thunderstorms, high mile-per-hour winds. Actually, when I was biking home today from school, which I got back like 20 minutes ago, I heard a lightning siren. So yeah, and then right as I got in my garage, I heard tornado sirens, which that means there's a watch there. So it's probably a watch. I don't know what it was, but I swear I thought I heard it. Right over here, and right over here. I was probably wrong. This street right over here. But yeah, just watch out for thunderstorms, possibly a tornado or so. Probably not. It's probably gonna be lightning guys got to worry about. But yeah, let's go to tomorrow, because tomorrow is gonna get even more crazy. So we can already see, general risks we don't really talk about, but this is just surrounding the big marginal risk, just slight risk over here, just for some storms coming out. It's just a form of this new storm that is forming. All right, let's talk about this huge marginal risk right here. Okay, this marginal risk is crazy. We can see right here. All right, the marginal risk. Okay, this is a big form of the storm. All right, we see this a lot when we attempt to get these high storms with a lot of pressure on it and stuff. We tend to see this a lot. So this is what the form is, okay? And what this is going to produce is severe thunderstorms. The Storm Protection Center is expecting 5 or 6 tornadoes tomorrow in this range. So we might have to cover tomorrow, but it's not looking too bad. But this is gonna just produce storms all around this red. Even they might have to issue this marginal risk and make its way even a little bit into Missouri. So watch out for that. But watch out for those storms. Be scared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. And those are just one little sprinkle of our storms that we're getting. But there's a lot of storms over here also that comes into the east. Sorry. Here, Indiana gets in the Ohio, then West Virginia, and Virginia. So watch out for storms over there. Just if you're over here, going on the beach, rip current statement, high waves. Do not go too far as you probably do in in your surfing. So yeah, let's go to day 3 now, because day 3 is also gonna get pretty crazy. We can see this upgrades to a slight risk, and we do got a big risk of and now a big quarter of the country is getting covered by storms. All right, let's talk about over here in the west. So why there's general risk over here is because there's gonna be just a couple showers, but this also goes in with winter weather activity. But we can see there's a big special weather statement there already. Just thunderstorms. You'll see a couple major thunderstorms there, so that's why that's there. high wind over here. This what might cause this to stop is fire weather, but who knows? All right, let's talk about another general risk down over here in the Florida plains, Key West over here. Just high winds and stuff. It's just gonna produce a couple storms because there's gale and all that, small craft because all the storms that are coming. But if you're like on a small craft, I would be careful on the oceans and make sure because you can get flipped over. But we can see high surf advisories. It's just gonna be some high winds there and stuff that are causing that to happen. Yeah. Alright, let's talk about the marginal risk now, which is surrounding the slight risk. So what's going to happen here is outside of the slight risk, alright, we're going to see thunderstorms and stuff. And the low pressure system is gonna produce storms all around, and those green coming into the yellow too. The yellow is going to be the more severe storms because it's all going to come in and close out over here in Iowa. So watch out for that, because these are going to be some big storms. But general risk, it's all surrounding that. Watch out for that marginal risk. But once we get into the slight risk right here, it gets a little more severe. The low pressure system is going to probably be at its peak in the slight risk. So it's probably going to hit the slight risk before some of the general risk and the marginal risk confirmed. But the low pressure system is probably going to end up here and be bad. They could shrink this a little bit. They can make it bigger. They can, delete it. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, alright? We can see it's the last day we can do on the category yellow, but we can still go up to a week from today. Alright, so that's day 3, okay? That's just any severe conditional intensity group right there. Alright, let's head into day 4 now. Okay, they'll add this tomorrow, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Alright, so we can see, now we're getting more into the plains, Tennessee around there. Not even Tennessee, but we can see. Alright, this goes in the plains. Alright, we got Dallas in this. We got a little bit of Texas. And most of what the heck is this? Oklahoma of New Mexico. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is. What the hell is that? I swear. Wait, what is it? Oh, it's Arkansas. Sorry, I do not know my states. Holy shit. Alright. We can see there's storms going in a good portion of Arkansas and a little bit of Texas, but this is going to produce some storms, severe thunderstorms, and what this is causing is the jet stream, but also the warm front, but also the cold coming from up here in Missouri, the jet stream shooting up here, and the cold front that's coming from here. It's all going to make its way into this 15% any severe risk, which is going to cause bad stuff to happen, alright? But the cold front coming from here, the warm front coming from here, the cold front coming from here, and the jet stream coming up from here. And maybe a little bit of the low pressure system might get in there too, which can cause some bad storms coming because all this collided is not good. So just know that. Just watch out for this. We'll get some more information once we get closer there. I might make another video later. But just watch out for that because that can be very severe for a lot of people. This gets even more bigger, gets into Oklahoma and a bigger portion of Texas. I know this is observed flash flooding. Well, guess what? More rain for you guys. Woohoo! I'm joking. Alright. But same thing, low pressure system, all that. Okay, but this time, I know it goes lower and stuff, but now there's a new low pressure system that's coming from Missouri that it's going to make its way. That's why some of Missouri is covered, because that's where the low pressure system's coming. It literally starts on the border of this. And it's going to make its way all the way over here. And the low pressure system's going to cause warm fronts and cold fronts in a big, wide rotating supercell to move and stuff, which, it's not going to always be great. But watch out for this. Get ready, because what's going to happen is a jet stream, bug 88 hertz, and a lot of stuff. The jet stream is going to cause a lot of stuff in a big supercell. That is going to cause the storm to rotate big. But the supercell overnight only makes the storm shift a little more upward, a little more into Missouri. They're in Springfield, not Illinois, but Missouri, and gets its way more into Nebraska, or Kansas. I think that's Kansas. Sorry, I suck at what my states are. But we can see right here, okay? This low pressure system gets more affected overnight. So I'm talking about 3, 4 in the morning. You might see a tornado warning or two overnight, but mostly severe thunderstorm warnings. Severe thunderstorms, I mean. That what's just gonna be? It's just gonna be the low pressure system and the supercells trying to rotate its way over here overnight. To watch out for this, these can be some very effective storms. Make sure you have something like Yalcall, max velocity. Let me show you some ways that can wake you up overnight besides sirens and alerts if you want something. Starting off with Ryan Holiel's Yalcall. Alright. So this is Yalcall right here. Alright. My friend Yalcall. I'll give you one more option, okay? But this is Yalcall right here. You get a personal call from Ryan Holiel. This is not like what he says live on his stream, but what this is, it just says he recorded all this. A lot of time you can hear a demo call, which we'll do sometime in the video, but not now. But you can see it in action, if it works. But what happens? It's only 19.95 per year, 24/7 severe weather monitoring, severe weather warnings, lightning safety alerts, travels with you, exclusive alert trips. Alright, so 24/7 travels with you, exclusive alert types, lightning safety built in. At any time when there's lightning or something, this is your best value you can get. This is only about $1 a month. So you can look at the pricing here. It's so worth it. Another thing that might also be worth it is max velocities. Max alert. Right here. Max alert's another good one. It's to receive another personal call. This one's a little more cheaper, but yeah. But you can pick either which. I'm not gonna recommend anything because I'm not a lawyer here. But you get a direct phone call from Max Velocity when your location. He recorded all this. No app notifications that get ignored. So, yeah. Real protection, not notifications. A personal call from Max. Your exact address and your family. 2 phone numbers per account can keep everyone informed. So, if you have let's say you have a whole family. You got your wife or your husband, and you got a couple kids. All right. Only the 2 parents should need it because maybe your parent could be on vacation, but you can also use your other parents' one. So yeah, this is only $14 a year. That's about 60 cents a year. But alright, that's just 2 things you can use. Alright, let's get back to the radar. That's just something that you can have overnight. Alright, let's get back to the forecast. Alright, let's go to day 7. So this is a week from today, okay? This is next Tuesday. So you can see all the storms from over here shifts all the way over here into the more southeastern side, okay? So this goes into more southeast. So what's happening from over here, okay, if we go to day 5, there's a new low pressure system that's shooting its way out from the border of Alabama, Georgia, and Florida that's going to curve its way into this 15 through weather. There's going to be cold fronts coming from here. We can see there's a special weather statement because the storm's going to be big that they're already talking about, but this is all going to hit, and then another low pressure jet stream. It's going to make its way over here, and they're eventually going to collide about right here in, sorry, I don't know what the fuck that is, Louisiana or Arkansas, but that's where it's going to issue. Just watch out for that. Right, once again, sign up for one of those. That's in a week from today. And there's one more. Oh, no, it's not a week from today. This is a week from today. Sorry, this is the jet stream shooting out from here, over here. It's going to eventually collide over here in Tennessee. Alright, that's where it's going to issue. So make sure you have something to come out. But this is like the real action storms. Like this can get. Then day 8 it all ends. But those are like the severe events, okay? They're not as bad as the ones we've had in the past week or so, but still. Alright, enough talking about, thunderstorms and stuff, because we're going to talk about something that's getting pretty serious, alright? So, yeah, wind and reflective humidity. So it's getting pretty dry, over here. No storms at all, no rain. There's a little elevated fire risk right here for any spark, 40-mile-per-hour winds. There's fire weather watches up here, and that's a special weather statement. Because of the 60-mile-per-hour winds, which one little spark can cause a little bit of a wildfire, but we get a little more critical once we get down here into the Florida area, a little bit of Georgia, And yeah, so we can see there's an elevated fire risk around here. You know, there's fire weather because 55, 60 mile per hour winds out here, but this over here is 70 to 75 mile per hour winds, which this is bad. This is getting pretty effective and stuff. It's impacting, okay, it's impacting a lot of people. But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here in Punta Gorda, you know. Actually, Punta Gorda is where Hurricane Milton. That's why it sounds so familiar. That's where it, like, started. But, okay. But over here, this is where the storms are going to be. Not storms, fire. So watch out. One little spark. Just stay away from fires in the woods. Stay away from that. If you see one, reports in the NWS so you can see any. But we can see what the hell just happened. You see this today? But, oh my god, where the heck did that go? See, this all expires in 3 hours, so it's about to end. That's why they put critical fire risk on there. But then this fire risk shifts up over here, okay? A lot of warmth and stuff that's happening here. There's a bunch of special weather statements that are there. For 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, there's gale out here, so that also can mean something. But this is already programmed because you can already see all the warnings that are coming out over here. Then we get a big fire risk that starts over here, which is tomorrow on Wednesday. But we can see elevated fire risk because this is surrounding the critical because it can spread and make its way into the critical. But this could be pretty bad. It's pretty big and it takes up a good big portion of the USA. So watch out for this one little spark. If this is like 65, 70 mile per hour winds all around, if 70 mile per hour winds collide, like in this critical, that would definitely cause a fire. But you know, if you're someone who smokes a cigarette or something, stay away from woods if I were you. If you don't want to get your place covered in fire, if I were you, just stay away from that because you're gonna get yourself under a wildfire. But yeah, just watch out for that. That's wind and reflected humidity. Alright, let's go back to water. So we can see there's a flash flood, observed flash flooding over here. We can see the QPF. Alright. There's a lot of rain over here. There's 0.3 inches. How is that happening? There's not even that big rain. But okay, there's a lot of rain coming, a lot of heavy rain coming, so watch out. There's already observed flash flooding, and then over here there's flash flooding from there's gonna be like wet, moisty snow. So yeah. Day 2, same thing. It just now shifts over here because all the water is gonna, and all the storms are gonna make its way over here. Day 3, we now move ourselves over here to where our storms are gonna be. We're going through this fast because, yeah. And then it goes down here because this is the start of that storm, heavy rainfall, and then it's eventually gonna get even more badder with the rainfall in the next couple days. The excessive rainfall ends. All right. I think the snow amount is pretty much over, but only thing with snow, and we'll run through this quickly, it's just there'll be a little bit of snow, you know, winter weather watches over here. It's crazy to talk about that in the middle of April, especially in somewhere like California. Alright, let's talk about some temperature, with high winds, okay? There's a lot of high winds over here, that's why there's a bunch of red flag, which is going to cause wildfires and stuff. So, yeah. Why is this not working? Okay. Okay, just watch out for that. Okay. Why am I keep pressing the wrong thing? But yeah, alright, just watch out for that because that can be pretty big. Alright, let's talk about our climate change. Oh my god, Alaska. How the hell are they getting a chance of above normal temperature in Alaska? Oh! Yeah, let's not talk about that. Alright. So, we can see, alright, right here, okay, expected to get 36% chance of above near temperatures, so 70 mile per hour stuff. Alright, Hawaii. Why is it red? Well, 50% above normal temperatures. I'm talking 100 degrees there in Hawaii. So, yeah. So, just watch out. It might get a little hot, definitely here. But, yeah. Just advising you because it might get really hot. That's pretty much all I have for you guys. Let's just talk about the nice weather. So yeah, overall today it's been a pretty good day. But what's causing this, you know, that because if you're any people in Chicago, because when I was at school today, it was really nice. But what's causing this to stop, which this, actually I checked this morning, it said it was a nice day. But now it's back down to fair conditions because it's getting cold. The temperature's dropping because of storms and all that. So that's why that's stopping. But that's one of the things. And then over here, perfect day. All right, just watch out. It's gonna get pretty perfect. Perfect day up here. All right, this is right by Chicago and stuff. So I'm actually in this beautiful day. So I'm getting a beautiful day tomorrow. Then it's gonna get a little more bad. And yeah, perfect day in the ocean. It's a perfect day in the ocean, guys. Alright. That's pretty much all I have for you guys. You know, sign up for those max velocity y'all call if you don't want alerts because they don't think they'll wake you up. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. We'll maybe possibly record another video later. We'll go like a day by day what's gonna happen like we did last time. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.